Hello everyone, hope you are all good. Today we are going to discuss a topic again related to real estate investing, how to analyze a rental property. In a rental property, four things are important. One is cash flow, definitely the main thing is cash flow. Then another thing is appreciation. So your property keeps appreciating, so that is another thing. Third is tax benefits. So if you are taking it on loan and if you are reselling it, then that things. So regarding the tax benefits. And the fourth thing is loan repayment. So these are the four things which you have to be really cautious while analyzing and getting into a rental property. Analyzing cash flow, income minus expenses is your cash flow. After all your expenses and your income, here in this case is the rent you are generating out of the property. So rent minus all the expenses inclusive of maintenance, everything is the cash flow. And appreciation is nothing but the equity gained. Year on year, you have a property appreciation of 3%, 4%, even 5% if the place is so much remote and it is developing. So that is appreciation. So there is something called fair market rent. So fair market rent is something someone is willing to pay for a property for a set period of time. Fair market rent is based on location, number of rooms, say 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK, then based on the amenities and the size of the property. So while analyzing a rental property, you have to check out the papers, hoarding, basically the newspapers, hoarding, internet platforms, then websites, and also the ad boards. You try to talk to the landlords, the earlier landlords. So how is the place, how is your rental income, how is it going? And again, if you have more applicants or more tenants gushing in, then you should definitely increase the rent. And also main thing in rental income is that don't underestimate the expenses related to the property, the maintenance charges. So don't underestimate the expenses. So for a rental property, I have identified some expenses. So the first expense is vacancy. In the sense, if you are having 12 months in a year and say if you are renting out the property, maybe for a month you don't get a tenant. So that's the vacancy cost. In the sense, 1 month rent is not coming to you. So you will get only 11 months rent. So you have to consider that while considering the cash flow generation out of the property. Now repairs are like you need to have repair of your say painting, say some taps getting leaked or etc etc. So those things are categorized under repairs. So it can vary from 5 to 10% of your rental income. So you have to take care of such things, or you have to account for that repairs as well in your cash flow calculation. CAPEX is another thing. So it's a one-time activity. Say in 10 years, you need to change a major thing inside a home. Like you need to build a shed on your balcony, which is like much more than, or the percentage wise, it is much more than your rental yield. So such CAPEX activities are also to be considered on a longer run as a part of the expense for the rental property. And the fourth thing is property management. Property management, even though you are handling the property, there is a cost which is associated with that property management. Your petrol cost, you are coming here and there. So you are living in some other state, you have to come to this state for once in a while for visiting the tenant. So that flight cost, etc etc. So property management cost is also important. And if you have multiple properties, then you may have to assign a property manager as well. So in that case, the property management cost goes high. So that also you have to take care while computing the cash flow from the rental income. So this expense also has to be tabulated and accounted while calculating the cash flow. So as always, I suggest you take a leverage. You have to buy the property by taking a loan from the bank. So you buy a property say for 60 lakhs, then actual property cost was say 65 lakhs, then you get a 5 lakh appreciation there itself, because you are buying it at a 60 lakh. And now you do some property modification, some painting or some modification on the tiling and bathrooms etc, on the balcony etc, then you appreciate the property by say, by spending 40,000 50,000, you are appreciating the property say by 3-4 lakhs etc. So again you get 5 plus 4 9 lakhs appreciation upfront. So that is how you value add to the property by simple techniques, and create the cash flow more interesting, or you make the cash flow more interesting, because end of the day you are paying 60 lakh 50,000 for a property appreciated upfront by 69 lakhs. So you are getting a rental yield which is much higher if you calculate it. Also the rental yield which you are getting out of the tenant, so that rent has to go to the EMI which is going to the bank in the form of loan EMIs. So you have to try to increase the rental yield as much as possible by value adding, so that you are able to match the EMIs which is to be paid to the bank. So if you want to reduce the EMI, you may increase the years of loan which is taken from the bank, and also you can increase the rent of the tenant if you are doing some extra work in the property. Third thing, as we mentioned, is the tax benefits. You get a tax benefit because having a loan. So in Indian context, you get a 2 lakh interest payment tax benefit. So that you have to take, if you are having a salary, then you can offset the tax by showing the interest payment for the loan on behalf of this property. So that tax benefit definitely you can get, which is again converted into cash flow, because the tax which is not paid is money what you get. So it is again creating a positive cash flow to your balance sheet. Loan, as I told, it is other people's money. So you are using other people's money to buy a property, and you are getting other people's money as the tenant's rent. So that is how you balance out the cash flow. So leverage, if you see the word meaning, a small force which is used to have a far more impact. So this is like taking a loan which creates much larger cash flow, and it creates a great impact on your balance sheet. So that's the beauty of taking loan and using other people's money. So in the next session, I will come up with a video wherein I take a real case example of buying a property, renting it out, creating a cash flow out of that, and using that cash flow to buy another property, and that investment model. So hope this session was really useful for you. See you till next video. Happy investing.